once again today in the conversation that we were having. And in previous conversations, we discussed about this particular line of this verse where it was said, Rakshita swasya dharmasya swajanasya cha rakshita, where it is a great quality of a person, and whatever qualities we are studying here, and all of these qualities cannot be found in one single person. It is very difficult to find all these qualities that agglomerate in a single person, and that's why Sage Valmiki is asking to Narada, Devarshi Narada, that tell me one person, tell me that rare person on earth who could resemble, where we could find all these qualities in one person. And so Narada is pointing towards Sri Rama, and while discussing all of his qualities, abilities, he says this line that Rakshita swasya dharmasya, he is a protector and promoter of his own dharma, and he also protects others. Often in the world we find that there are two types of people. Either they are completely self-centered, or they are completely looking for others. And so from here we get the point that too much worrying for others and too much remaining selfish in nature, both are not good. Both are destructive in some way. So here we get the point that our life should remain in an equilibrium state. We should live this life in a balanced way, that we are healthy in ourselves from all ways, from all sources, from all areas. And when we are healthy, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, we could help others in a better way. And while helping others, we should not just tilt towards them. It's good to serve this nature. It's very good to help others, but neglecting yourself, neglecting your health, neglecting your body, your physicality, your mentality, your spirituality, helping others is not good. If you do this in a continuous manner, so what would happen? You wouldn't be able to serve this nature for a longer period, because you'd lose your powers, you lose your abilities, you lose the power of your organs if you don't take care of yourselves as you are required to take the care of yourselves, your organs, your body, your mentality, your entire existence. So here, from this line, we get the knowledge that our entire life should be a balanced life from all areas. And that's what we get this teaching from Sri Rama's life. Sri Narada is discussing to Sage Valmiki that how a life should be, how a life that resembles Rama should be. And that is a life which remains completely balanced in all areas, in all sectors. And then in the next next line of this verse, the sage Valmiki is being said that Veda Vedanga Tattvajyo Dhanurvede cha nishtitaha. So what are Vedas? These four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda, and Sam Veda. And what is Vedanga? The scriptures, the literatures that help us decode, that help us understand the knowledge of Vedas are called Vedangas. Siksha, Kalp, Vyakaran, Nirukta, Chanda, and Jyotish. These are the 6 Vedangas. These are the 6 parts of Vedas. And without understanding these 6 parts, no one could decipher the true meaning of Vedas. So these are equally important as Vedas are. So if you want to understand Vedas, what is the way, what is the process, you would have to go through this path of Vedangas. And Sri Rama, that entity, is Veda Vedanga Tattvajna. He understands this nature of Vedas, and he is qualified, he's a scholar of all these Vedangas. So he is a wise person, he has wisdom in himself. I mean, the power of knowledge is the greatest power ever. The power of wisdom is the greatest power there is. So we should always take care that we somehow learning something every day. This nature, entire nature around us teaches us many things throughout the course of the day. And it depends on us how much knowledge, how much wisdom, how much information we gain, we absorb from the nature. God gives us several occasions. God presents several occasions in front of us. And it's up to us how much knowledge, how much are we open to the entire knowledge thing around us, that pervades around us. That's why it's been said, Nahi jnanena sadrisham pavitram iha vidyate. There is nothing more pure than your knowledge. When you have a sacred knowledge, when you have a pure knowledge, when you have knowledge of true sense, then no evil, no sinful work will ever take place in you. It's a great thing. So this knowledge part, and what knowledge? Sacred knowledge, knowledge of yourselves, knowledge of your responsibilities, knowledge of this entire nature of this nature. What it is for? What is it for? What are you for in here? What is your purpose? What is the purpose of everything that we see around us? What is the purpose of our lives? What is the purpose of we living in here? What is the purpose of this life? So this is the sacred knowledge. This is the pure knowledge. And when we get the knowledge of this thing, nothing is impossible. Because once you understand who are you and what is your duty, then you'd be able to perform that work in a more efficient manner. Once you have the knowledge, once you know the path and the destiny, then you'd be able to run on the path in a more efficient way, more eloquent manner. But if you don't know what is the path of my life, what is the purpose of my life, what is the route to my life, what is the route towards destination, and we don't know, if you don't know the destiny as well, what for will you live? There will be no division, there will be no line to divide you and animals. So what is one thing that we are called the best creation? Because we have the power to achieve knowledge, we have the power to gain wisdom, we have the power to reach to that height that we'd have never thought about, that we were made for. So every person acquires that power, every person acquires that energy, and that energy and power requires to be ignited, to be kindled, to be sparked. And this is the way. This divine knowledge is the way to spark that knowledge in you. So here Sri Rama is said that he is the knower. He is the person who has the entire knowledge of Vedas and Vedangas. And with this, you should have a preliminary knowledge of everything, in every context, in every area. You should have a nominal knowledge. You should have a ground knowledge. I mean, primary knowledge of everything. But you should also have a good knowledge in any one subject, where you could state that I am a master of this subject. So for Sri Rama, Dhanurveda, he is the master of this knowledge of this scripture, Dhanurveda. And in the next verse, sage Valmiki is being said, Sarva Shastrartha Tattvajyaham Smritiman Pratibhanavan Sarva Loka Priyaha Sadhur Adinatma Vichakshana. So these are again great qualities that he describes of Sri Rama. What he says, the first word, Sarva Shastrartha Tattvajyaham. the same as before. He is a learned man. He is the person who understands the knowledge, who understands the teachings of every scriptures, of most of the scriptures. And the next line, he says, Sarva Loka Priyaha. He is the one who is appreciated by everyone. And how it happens? How could we make ourselves that everyone, every person in this universe understands, loves us, appreciates us, our works? How could it happen? That could only happen in a simple manner. If you want to eat mangoes, what would you have to do to get the mango fruit for yourselves? You'd have to plant, you'd have to sow the seed of a mango fruit. The same way, if you want sugar cane, you'd have to plant the cutting of sugar cane in fields. The same way, if you want love from other people, you'd have to shower your love on other people. If you want respect from other people, start respecting other people. If you want appreciation from other people, start appreciating the good works of other people. If you want sympathy from other people, you have to nourish them by your sympathy. This is the way. Whatever we want, we have to give to the nature, and whatever we give to the nature, it is inevitable that we would get that. Many times people say that I did this small little mistake and I'm getting a lot of repercussions of this mistake. Why is it so? So whatever you give to this nature, nature returns it to you with complete interest. This is the investment of life. Investment not only occurs in beings and other departments, and this is the investment of your life. What you invested in this nature, what you invested in your life. If you invested good qualities in your life, then they too would appear in the future with interest. And if you invested bad works in your life, sinful works in your life, they will be returned to you with complete interest. There could be no flying away from that. You are independent in doing your works, but you are completely slaves of the fruit that you would get. It's a complete servitude. So take care, pay attention to all of the works that you do throughout the day, any moment. So Sri Rama is being said that he is the person who is loved by everyone. Then it stands to complete reason. It is incontrovertible truth that he is the lover of everyone. He loves everyone. He appreciates everyone. He follows, he understands everyone. He praises the good works of everyone. And then only you'd be able to gain the respect, the appreciation, the sympathy, the empathy of other people. And so he gets this. He is the one who sees, who watches himself in everyone. And Gita also says the same thing. Yo mam pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati tasyaham na pranashyami sacha me na pranashyati. That the one person who watches me in every person and acts to that person as if he was acting with me, how would we act with God if he came in front of us? Just think of that, just visualize that feeling. How would we react to God if he appears in front of us? No matter how much harder life we led, no matter how much cursed life we led, no matter how much downfall we saw in our lives, and we put the one accountable person, one accountable entity for all of that to God. We maintain that God is doing everything, every oddity that is appearing in our lives. God is one reason. He is doing this, that, all these things. And though if God appears in front of us, how would we react? We just start praying to him. This is the vastness, this is the vast aura of God. And now when we start visualizing the presence of God, when we start visualizing God in every person, and it is the truth. It is the truth. There is soul in every creature, and the soul is the representative of God, is the God himself who lives in you, in every person. And now when you are watching that entity in every person, how could you be able to anyway disdain that person? How would be able? No, you cannot hate anyone. You cannot pelt your apathy towards anyone if you're embroiled with this feeling, if you are covered with this feeling that God is everywhere. Every person is the representative, is the son and daughter of God. So everyone is my brothers and sisters. How would you react to that person? You'd only react to that person as you have reacted to God if he was in front of you. So Sri Rama is a person, and this scripture gives us the knowledge, gives us the information, gives us the teaching that we too start working and behaving this way. This is the right way to behave with anyone that we see around us. So the line was said, Sarva Lokapriya. So one who is loved by anyone. And it's not a matter that we should love everyone only when we get love from them, only when we get appreciation from them, that we would start appreciating them. No. Appreciating others is in your hand. And you are not appreciated, you are not praised, you are not well looked after by other person, it's his fault. So why are you degrading your own behavior as a result of anyone's other's behavior? So it's a great thing. Many times we see, almost all the times we see, that whenever we gain the action, we get the action of someone, we just start reacting. The war of this action and reaction goes over and over, and we never stand in a peaceful situation. So we'd have to discard, we'd have to fly away, we'd have to slip away from this thing, this action and reaction process. Ego and ignorance process. These are the knots of our life. They keep us from knowing the true thing that we were prepared for. This ego, someone is living in an ego, and the other person who doesn't have ego, he is living in ignorance. Someone is acting in some way, and other is reacting in the same way. So this is not the way to build a better environment. We always talk that we want better environment, and now the question arises: where would this better environment start from? It starts from the first entity of the environment, and the entity is you, is I, is every person, every individual, every element of the environment. And what is that element? Every person. You are the primary element of the environment, and you yourself would have to change yourself, would have to direct yourself in the right position, in the right route, so that the environment becomes a better place for everyone to live. So this action, reaction, ego, ignorance, no, it's not the way to live. It should be left aside. You should traverse this nature that is covering you, that is cladding you from all sides and not allowing you to understand who were you, what was the purpose, what was the real meaning of your lives. And so the scripture is giving us this divine knowledge. And in the next word, what Narada says to sage Valmiki, Adin Atma. He never feels himself humble. A greater person, an uplifted person, an awakened person never feels himself inferior to anyone. Because every person is exclusive in some works, in some area. We should never compare ourselves, we should never compare our abilities to any other person, with some other person. Some person is good at in one activity. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean that we should also have to be good in the same activity. We might be good in another activity. It is helping nature. And listen, this nature is standing only because of the diversity of ecosystem. If there were only lions on this nature, could you imagine? We wouldn't have been there. We wouldn't have been sitting and living this life. They would have come and eaten us. So to maintain the balance, God has also created deers. If there were only trees on this planet, how would we have been able to survive? There would have been nothing, no balance in nature. So everything, this diversity, makes this nature beautiful. The same way as the diversity of spices makes a curry tasty. The same way, diversity in nature, diversity in your life, diversity in the actions of every person makes this entire nature, makes this entire ecosystem, makes this entire society, this entire community, this entire country, this entire world a beautiful place to live. Everyone is a good person in his own area. Everyone is an uplifted person in his own area. And what you need to do, just understand what are you good at, and you just pelt yourself in that work. You just thrust yourself in that work, and you see how better results, how good results come up from that. You are second to none. You are second to no one. You are exclusive in yourself. So stop comparing yourselves to anyone else. Your comparison can only be done with one person, and that person is you. You are incomparable. You are exclusive. You are the one person that God has created. And everyone, God believes in you that you could do that. So the one thing that you need to do is understand yourself, understand your abilities, and put yourself in uplifting those abilities and uplifting your life through those abilities. So Sri Rama is that person. He never feels himself inferior to anyone. Neither he feels himself superior to anyone. As I said before, this life is all about balance. Live a balanced life, nothing happens to you. We said, I am getting sick. What is the thing of getting sick? What is the science behind getting ill? What is the science behind disease? This balance of life is disease. And disease not only occurs physically, that any organ of ours have degraded, have become sick. It is entire life. So we are in disease. We have got disease many places in our lives. And it only occurs when this balance appears in ourselves. If this balance appears in our mentality, we become mentally ill. Disease appears in our mentality. If any organ of ours got disbalanced, disease appears in that organ. If any cell, if disbalance appears, if the balance of growth is disbalanced in any cell, it starts multiplying itself in numerous forms, and that is how cancer is formed. So disease is nothing but disorder, disbalance of life. So balance your life in every manner, and when you're a balanced person, then there would be nothing is there. There is no power in this anywhere that could ever fell you down. So take care that we are not living a life where we think ourselves that we are inferior to someone, and we always live this balanced life. So here today we understood from the scripture, we understood that we should always live a balanced life. We are second to no one. We are exclusive in ourselves. We have greater abilities in some areas that we need to understand, that we need to decipher, that we need to decode. And this is the work of our life. And at last, what sage says, that you live a complete life. You live a life of balance, a balanced life. never break the balance of your life, and that's how this nature would become balanced. Because when one component of nature, when the primary components of nature would become balanced, then the nature would inevitably become a balanced nature, become a balanced society. And that's how we could build a better and a happier society around us. So this is our duty, this is our work, and this is the purpose of our lives. Thank you.